George Lucas.
Whoopi.
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 For what? For what?
That's just what we do to end, so you can have a clean edit for the regular show to the when we start the
Jawas will not replace us.
Now hold on 1 second.
That was what he wanted.
Hold on 1 second. First of all, take those sunglasses off. There is brand confusion. I know you're saying they're not the same as the after-dark sunglasses, but let's not confuse them.
Yeah. Was that one of the things that you had to wear sunglasses?
No.
Why would you introduce sunglasses into the after show? Because to imply that different sunglasses mean it's not after dark, that means we can't ever switch sunglasses in after dark.
Thank you.
I mostly just wanted to hide my face because I'm ashamed of what I had to do for this money.
Okay. Can I give you a little tip?
I would love a little tip.
Here's one way you can hide your face that doesn't involve sunglasses, but it reads as shame.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, when you wear sunglasses, it doesn't read as shame. Patrick, hold it out. Don't press them up against.
Hold them out.
Hold it further. Further. So the hands get bigger. The hands get bigger. Yes. Cover more face. Nope. Now you've gone too extreme. No. We want to still be able to see. Also, don't make little Yoda ears out of your thumbs. What's that?
Stop being such a wiseacre.
Why you gotta be? Quit. Okay, first of all, here, Patrick. I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay, look at me. Take hands down. Hands down. Hands down. You're not Gilligan. Get off the island. Come down. Nope. Come on. All right. Hands, and you put them a little bit, about a foot in front of your face.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do this little Yoda ears joke. See how it looks like you're doing a Yoda?
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. Well, this isn't about funny. This is about being ashamed of yourself.
Yeah.
It's about selling your freaking soul.
Yeah. Who do you think you are? Baked Alaska?
Yeah. Who do you think you are? Baked Alaska?
Do you think that you are Baked Alaska?
Patrick, are you under the impression that you are now or have ever been Baked Alaska?
I've never even had Baked Alaska.
That's exactly what Baked Alaska would say. The kind of
like Baked Alaska right now.
Funny joke that Baked Alaska would make. Can I say something very important?
Sure.
Yeah, go for it.
As a matter of fact, I insist.
I insist. You know what? I insist too, actually.
There is something that was said in the private chat that I think should be mentioned.
Ooh, I got to check out the private chat. Hold on.
Now, I'll say this first. This is something that Bryson said. Maybe mention supporting the show and merch.
Yeah.
There is a button down below to help support the show, right?
Yeah.
You could go to planscum.live. You can throw in some bucks, become a $5 friend.
Yeah, and it is very nice when when you guys do help support it. It helps us keep the lights on. It helps us pay for dumb bits to do on this show. It helps us pay all the people behind the scenes, the social media people, the editors, everyone who does it. Yeah, it is very helpful. Even if it's $2, $5, $10,
Yes.
$100, whatever.
Hey, you like these dumb bits? Make me full screen.
Okay, sure. Hang on one sec.
No, make it with you at the sides. At you at the sides, laughing along with me. No, me full.
Oh,
you at the
okay.
sides. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, you like
Get
these dumb,
ready for a good laugh. Ready.
Right. Hey, you like these dumb bits?
Yeah.
I didn't give you any lines in this, Patrick. Watto knew how to play it like a pro. He's doing it all here. No need for any of this. All here. Hey, you like these dumb bits? Well, they don't pay for themselves.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Make me full screen. I want George and Patrick at this side so they can laugh at me.
Do I have any lines before we start? I just want to make.
No.
Okay, I had to ask. I had to ask.
As Dr. Phil says, you do not reward bad behavior.
Mhm.
Last time George gave you 0 lines, you tried to take a line. Why would I reward that by giving you a line?
Mhm, mhm, mhm,
You'll try to take 2.
mhm, mhm.
If you give a Pat a line, he's going to ask for another.
Mhm,
And a glass of milk to go along with it to wash it down.
Yeah.
mhm.
Now, this is something I have to say. Bryson didn't just say maybe mention supporting the show. He said also maybe mention supporting the merch. Grogismo, the most popular shirt in America, is now available in the black.
Mhm.
Get your black Grogismo shirt. Now, I want to address the other thing said
But I
in
also
the
want
private.
to say we also have this one too.
Yes, we also have that, and there's a Fizzy Boy shirt, and there's a Judge Mealy shirt. There are many shirts.
Is there a Fizzy Boys shirt?
Yes, there is. It looks like a boiling soda bottle.
Is it on this one? Where is it?
Part of this image, but it's on the site. Am I right, Bryson, or am I right, Bryson?
Yeah.
It's not a Planet Scum shirt. It's a New Jersey is the world shirt.
Don't you dare buy those Fizzy Boys shirts, guys. Don't you dare.
I got confused because it was on the comedian tee site.
Don't you dare.
Or can I say something very important? Jersey Dave, get in here. Dave. Make Dave full screen, us on the side looking shocked. Dave, you said in the private chat that we have not received funds from Tom Sharpling yet. Now he's asking us to sponsor the show. We're giving him that credit. Patrick is defaming himself more than we ever thought possible.
Yeah. Nope. Nothing from Tom.
Now he's in the chat. I see him in the chat. He's coming in, big dog, and here I am, the king of the chat.
He's big dogging?
He's big
Here's
dog.
what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. You ready? We're going to do something. We're going to play something. I think we just need to play something else until we get this. The after show is like sassy, right?
I mean, this is when things get
unbuttoned.
Normal after show till we get that money.
I'm just gonna sit here, click and refresh. I'll tell you guys as soon as
you let us know when you hear from it. Okay.
You got it. Yeah.
all right.
Unbelievable. This feels very different. This is definitely, this after show feels very different.
Different vibe.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think it feels different. Do you think it feels different?
I think it feels different. What?
I mean.
You mean?
It looks like we have another guest.
I mean,
Another guest?
Another guest, Watto. Do you want to? Wada, why don't you ask the guest the normal guest question?
But here's the thing. We like to get the guests to write their own introductions. So if our next guest, if you can hear me in the green room, type out your desired introduction into the private chat.
And it can be funny, it can be serious, however you want to do it, you know?
Or it can be like Barry Levinson's Avalon, a little bit of both.
Wada, how was your week?
How was your week, Watto?
Here's the thing. I feel like as time has gone on, we've been doing this for 10, 8, 9 months now,
Something
whatever
like
it's been. Yes, I feel like as time goes on, the space between these shows feels shorter and shorter. I go, already another George Lucas? That having been said, the events of last Sunday feel like a month ago. Right? All that Whoopi and the hot dogs and the first tweet, the second tweet, that does not feel like it has been only a week. That
It
feels
doesn't
much
feel
longer.
recent. It doesn't feel recent.
No, because it feels historic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Can I say this?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I would like to. You know what? It's not about what I would like to do. It is about what I must do. And it is my great honor to introduce onto the George Lucas talk show after show. The normal after show, not Tom Sharpling. It's my great honor to introduce a person who is so nervous to live amongst legends at this moment. Grogros and Grogras, please welcome Keisha Zollar from the XXIII Club!
Thank you. Thank
Oh
you.
my gosh.
Oh my God.
Keisha, hello. How are you?
Hi. Sorry, legends.
How are you, Keisha?
Surviving, living
Yeah.
with my COVID dog and a thunder vest in the background.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Are you guys having thunder? Are you guys having thunder right now?
no, a thunder vest is like a hug you give your dog, but it's
No.
clothing. Think
I
about
thought
it
it
as just tight clothing.
Sure. Okay. I mean, everyone's gonna make fun of me. I thought it was something you put on a dog when there was like a storm to like stop it from freaking out.
Oh,
What a
yeah.
good-
But
I'm not going to make fun of you. That sounds like a great invention. If such a thing were possible, everyone would buy that. A little vest that makes your dog not feel scared of thunder. Wonderful.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think that's part of it. But, you know, some dogs are just afraid of everything.
Right.
I have a very nervous dog. He's a Chihuahua and a weenie, so
Oh wow.
anxiety is high.
And so it is a comforting outfit. He likes wearing it.
Yes, it is. Would you like to meet Hank Williams
Absolutely.
Sr., the dog?
Yes.
Absolutely, we would.
Hank Williams Sr., the dog. All right, come here, buddy. All right. Sorry, the light is hard here, but
Oh my gosh.
I love that.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
this
People
is
getting spoiled with dogs tonight. We're getting a lot of good dogs. This is great.
yeah. He's full Chai weenie, Hank Williams Sr.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. My other dog is Loretta Lynn. My other dog who died is Johnny Cash. R.I.P.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's
These
a
are
theme. I have a theme.
I've
Now-
cracked the theme. Yes. These were
Now,
all-
what started this theme?
These were
How
all-
did this begin?
It started actually rather oddly. A friend of mine had a dog she rescued from her roommate because her roommate was a real asshole. And the dog was a Chihuahua that was all black and very angry. So we called him the Man in Black, and he became Johnny Cash. And then
Okay.
I was like, everybody's like, oh, when I got my second dog, they're like, are you going to name her June? I was like, no, that is oppressive and limiting. I'm going to
Yeah.
show a woman who is bad all by herself. So I got Loretta Lynn,
Yeah.
who's my blonde, 6-pound Chihuahua. She's the smallest dog I've ever had. And ooh, baby, is she slightly bigger than a
Wow.
rat.
Wow. Now,
Have
I
you?
think
is it-
Loretta Lynn was on an episode of Fantasy Island. Johnny Cash was a guest star on Columbo. I'm trying to see if
Mhm.
there's a 1970s TV theme here. I don't think there. I think
Well,
Hank is.
I mean, also Loretta Lynn and Johnny Cash, I believe, are all both guest stars on the Muppet Show too.
Yeah, these might be Muppet
I
guests.
think Hank Williams, I don't think Hank Williams Jr. is, but yeah.
No, but Hank Williams was featured on Perry Como's Craft Music Hall in 1951. So these are television superstars.
Wow.
I agree. It was actually a very contentious conversation my husband and I had. Hank Williams Sr. or Hank Williams Jr.?
Mm-hmm.
It was a very short conversation. Sure. Hank Williams Sr., the dog, full name.
Great. So there is no confusion.
No confusion.
Did you ever think of naming him Hank Williams Jr. Sr. so that way you could pay respect to both Hank Williams and Swedish electro pop duo Junior Senior?
Oh, the Junior, I don't like his views online, so nope.
Oh.
Yeah, you
take that. Take that. Now, if you were to, do you have a name picked out for a future pet? Like, do you have an on deck circle sort of for?
So Hank was almost Willie Nelson, which I think is a respectable one, but like he's not as into the ganj as one might think. Garth Brooks was up for debate, but I shut it down.
Right.
No. Chris Gaines as well, the flip side.
Yeah.
And no, thank you. But, you know, Dolly Parton, if we get a sassy female, feels right. Like a very giving, unexpected sassy female. Might have a Dolly. But those are the names. I'm open to more, but that's where my head's at.
Do you think if you get another dog, you'll stick with it being a small dog, or do you think you'll go for the big boys next?
Ooh, a big boy dog, big boy poops. That's really my anxiety. I feel like one day I want to have a child, so I want to limit like the scale of poop I have to pick up in my life. So I'm like, well, cute little poops I can love forever, but humans,
right?
Proportionately, big boy poops. But I think I want medium. I think I'm a medium to small girl. Like 25, max out at 50 pounds. Ooh, baby, yes. But bigger than that feels like I'm like bringing a person into my marriage that I have to clean up after.
You want to feel like it makes more sense to pick them up than to ride them around.
Exactly. Although children will try to ride around all dogs because they look like little horses.
Right, but that's not your fault.
No, it's not my fault.
Yeah.
That's not.
That's fault, but the children.
We should show Keisha our shirts because I feel like this looks insane if you don't know that we're all wearing matching shirts or matching version. A fan made us shirts of ourselves as little cartoon characters.
I want that shirt. I want all of those shirts.
Yeah. They're all pretty good.
I think Mr. Rat, though, is the best. I'm so sorry, George.
No, I mean, look at that. Look at that hat. Look at that. He's got his little Arliss hat on.
I know. Killing the game with that hat.
Yes.
But you need to understand, we call him the rat because he's a fucking rat. This guy.
Unfortunately,
he's supposed to produce our show, but we keep on smelling a rat in our midst.
Yeah. I would be grateful. Somebody like popped up. They're like, I'd make you a shirt. I will take a free shirt. I love shirts, especially T-shirts. I wear them all the time. Not right now.
T-shirt. Well, I'll say this. Bring the Noise, who made these shirts, is saying, I'll make you a shirt if you want.
Now,
this is me saying, yes, a girl likes swag. I'm an easy swag.
Now, do you want to pitch? Do you want to pitch because you can make your dream come true here if you could have any kind of like fan art, or is there anything? Would you like yourself as one of the Mr. Man, Little Miss characters. That
Right,
these are
right.
patterned off of.
This is riffing on the Mr. Man books. There's the accompanying Little Miss books.
Mhm.
This
Mhm.
could be a pitch session for your Little Miss character.
Oh, it could, but I'd want my own.
Yeah.
That's
Or
what we're saying.
That's
Come
what
up
we're
with
saying.
your own.
Yeah, no, I could do that. I would absolutely do that. I'm also open to uh, any interpretation of me as a dog. I know that sounds really hard, but
No.
Yeah.
me as just a cute little pup.
Do you want to be
Okay.
surprised, or do you want to pick your breed? Do you want to pick which kind?
Oh,
'Cause
This is
let's
your
get it-
Keisha,
this is
Keisha,
yours.
this is your time to shine, Keisha.
I don't know. I have access to so many breeds. Am I a brown dog? Am I a black dog? Am I a white dog? I'm not a white dog. But that it's fine. I've accepted it. I've had a white dog. I'm not a white dog.
Mhm.
I don't know. I truly don't know what type of dog I am.
Okay, let's start with this. You a little dog, or you a big dog, or you a medium dog?
I think I'm a medium dog. Okay, I think I've started to come into my own. I'm in the Cocker Spaniel fam.
Right.
Like
Okay.
I feel like I'm a spaniel. Like
Okay.
like good at hunting things, but also just like fun to be around.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. This is
Yeah.
good. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
small,
I
but
think-
not too small.
Yeah. Now, do you want any text on here, or do you just want it to be the dog?
I think I want text, but I want to be surprised because what is
Okay.
a gift if I know what it is?
Right.
Then it's just
Sure.
like I love a good surprise.
Sure.
I trust people. I'm maybe a little too trusting. Hence me being a dog in my like inside self.
Okay. All right. Well, then I think this will happen then. So I'm glad that you might be. Are you the first guest to get swag from this show? There's a solid chance that you're the first guest to get swag from this show.
Listen, I will come thirsty for a free t-shirt. Like other people throw them away and
Yeah.
I'm just like, but I could wear them
Right.
to the
Yeah.
store and
Absolutely.
running.
People. Oh, Nicole. Yes, you're right. Nicole. When Nicole was on,
Well, it wasn't
We-
custom. It wasn't custom swag. We just
Yeah.
tracked down a rare. We tracked down a rare Hungry Hero Jar Jar because
Right.
we were showing this to her. She liked it. They're hard to find. We found one and we had it delivered to her home.
Yeah.
I am obsessed.
Let's
Yeah.
demonstrate.
Oh, well,
Let's demonstrate
you
this.
don't even know yet. Let's see. All right, Keisha, this can do two things. Okay. Do you want me to squeeze the belly, or do you want me to squeeze the hand?
Ooh, let's start with the hand and get to the belly. I feel like we're
Okay.
working into our intimacy circle.
Very good instinct. Very good.
All right.
Great.
So when you squeeze the hand, he says 8 different phrases. One of 8 different
One of
phrases. I'm going to read them off to you. He could say icky icky goo. He could say how wooed. He could say Misa called Jar Jar Binks. He could say Yusa Jedi are crazy. He could say Maxi Big da Force. He could say we dude it. He could say Yahoo, or he could say ooey mooey mooey I love yous.
That's the
So
best
let's
one, I
see.
think.
Let's see. Now we
I see.
found one of the best ways to hear what he has to say, because it's a small speaker, is to put the microphone right in his crotch. It's just the only way that people can hear it. So here we
You
go.
know-
Ready? How wooed.
Full House catchphrase.
Full House catchphrase.
But now tummy, right? It's tummy time?
Now
Now
it's, I would say now it's tummy time.
tummy time.
So he also comes with one of these guys. There's a little frog, I guess.
A
He's a
chuba.
chuba.
The chuba he
A
snacks on.
chuba.
I messed up.
Patrick.
Truly,
I've never been so happy to see an inanimate object eat. Like, I'm really happy it just like wants to eat.
Yes, I mean he is a hungry hero. It says it on the box. He's
So
not
they-
just an eater, a
And-
hungry hero.
I know there are people who sort of look at the merchandising as if it's somehow crass or it somehow takes away from the art of the films. And this is not to take anything away from what I accomplished when I made the prequels as cinema.
Yeah.
But that doll is better than the movies.
Yes, the koosh ball is better than the movie.
Oh,
Sometimes
the merch is the thing.
it is
Hang
its
on,
own
people-
art form, and it is the higher art form.
People also want us to show Keisha the thing that the three of us got mailed to us for the Muppets Tonight marathon.
Oh yeah, I gotta go get mine then.
Keisha, someone made these and mailed them to us.
I'm very excited to see the swag. I only no.
Puppet.
I-
Watto.
Puppet Pat. Oh no, his arm rod fell out. That's okay, we got one.
I love puppets.
Yeah.
Then
Someone made the
I
mailed it.
introduce you to Puppet George.
So this I guess last year I got to work on a sketch show that's a puppet show and I had a really great time.
Whoa.
It's the British reboot of Spitting
Oh,
Image.
yeah.
So I've gotten to have a lot of puppet love. So
Yeah.
I think puppets are pretty cool. And those feel like Muppets, which
Yes.
they're Muppets. So I will not degrade you by not seeing your marionette heritage. Because I feel like that's the thing. Muppets are two things. They're not one thing. They're both things.
Yeah.
Okay. Who do you think will have their Muppet destroyed first?
Watto's wings are starting to deteriorate, which I would say is in no way a judgment of Sarah Clev, right? It was Sarah Clev who made
Not
these?
Sarah Clev, it was CBC
No,
9000 made them.
CBC 9000, sorry. Wonderfully crafted. It just shows how hard Watto bits that the puppet has not been able to withstand the sheer force of Watto's bits every
You know, Watto, if you had your wings perfectly, what life would you have lived? Nothing.
Agreed. And I mean, Watto's rear wings are starting to really warp as well.
Right.
He's
We're all-
following after his daddy.
We're all falling apart. And I will say this. I'm going to show you something, and I can't guarantee this is going to be upsetting, Keisha, what I'm about to show you.
Oh yeah,
Because
I know what this is.
Because it's an artifact here at the ranch, here at Skywalker
I'm
Ranch.
I'm gonna take Watto and I off just because I just want to see.
Yeah. All right. So this is a vintage Spitting Image piece of merchandise from the 1980s that used to be called a bendy. All right. But it's been 3 decades since this is or more than 3 decades since this was produced. So it's no longer bendy. It is actually, as I hold it in my hand, it is there is a pile of crumbs that is this is a Ronald Reagan. The nose has fallen off. I cannot express to you how much this is like shedding as I hold it. Just the act of it is truly like something from an Indiana Jones movie. This is like what happens to like the Nazis in any Indiana Jones movie, is that they're
or what's actually happening to Ronald Reagan's body.
Yes. There's already a little pile of crumbles from the
Are they
nose, from
foamy?
the ears. What?
Are they foamy crumbles?
They're not foamy crumbles. They just look like dirt, just like dust.
Yeah, Foamy Crumbles is a good name for a band, though.
Foamy crumble, a good name for a band, a terrible name for a cereal.
Yes. George, can I ask, because this Ronald Reagan with Mick Jagger lips is deteriorating in real time in your hands, is this something you've had for a while, or did you purchase it in anticipation of Keisha being on the show this week and are now finding it crumbling at the moment it needs to shine?
No. I have owned this since this son of a bitch tried to name his Strategic Defense Initiative space shield the Star Wars Defense Shield.
No, thank you.
The Star Wars movies are about left-wing rebels defeating fascists. We're not about Reagan-era military buildup. You know, I like Bedtime for Bonzo as much as the next guy, but he had no right. So I'm kind of glad that his face is crumbling.
Wait, let me ask a really important question. Keisha?
This better be so important, this question.
It's going to be an important question.
What's your take on Ronald Reagan? How do you feel about Ronald Reagan?
Oh, I loved watching the docuseries. Like, I just have to say, I enjoyed it, but we did not drag him nearly enough.
Yep.
I like, remember that pandemic, you know, the AIDS crisis?
Yeah.
So, not a big fan.
I don't recall any crisis. I don't remember if there was a crisis. I don't recall.
George, I want to just circle back to this bendy face. So you've had this since the 80s. Has it been crumbling this whole time, or did it only start crumbling now?
No. For a long time, I would say for maybe 2 decades, it was bendy. I'm going to show you something truly repulsive. Okay, you've seen the front. You've seen what it looks like from the front.
Yeah.
Do you want to see what this looks like from the back?
Yes.
Of course.
All right. This might get us pulled from Twitch.
Oh.
Now, I would argue that this is what the real Ronald Reagan looked like on the inside.
Right. His inner thoughts were designed by H.R. Giger.
Yeah, this is what the policies felt like.
Oh, I mean, it looks like his mouth is surrounded by shit. Like,
this looks like you could be looking at the inside of his butt.
Yes.
Now, George, wait, what was this? What did this originally look like, George? Was there a back to it, or
no? These holes were for your fingers.
So you could puppeteer them.
You would puppeteer using a 4-finger system. You'd put your middle finger in the top hole. You'd take this finger and this finger, you put them in the side holes, and use your thumb for the bottom. And little pinky over here would just be a free agent, useless as on any cartoon character.
Little pinky over here.
Little pinky would do nothing. So you'd put him in all of Ronald's holes, and then you would use them to make his mouth move. It used to be very expressive. Oh God, this angle might be the worst, where you can't quite tell. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Okay. Yes. George, I have so many more questions.
Yeah, so I'll answer them, but really, look at it from this angle. It really is maybe the worst possible.
It's melting. It's horrific. However, you said Reagan's holes, and I'm going to live with that.
Yeah.
Reagan's holes.
Yeah. Never forget the moment when George Lucas explained to you precisely which fingers to put in which of Reagan's holes.
Right.
I'll never forget. That's something that lingers.
I mean, and also your demonstration of how to operate it was essentially you doing the shocker on camera. You held up the shocker and told us where to put which fingers in which holes.
But then the pinky's free, though.
The pink had nowhere to go.
Yeah, nothing but Reagan and his stink.
Okay, I have so many more follow-up questions about this item. So you've had this for close to 40 years, it sounds like. 30 plus, okay? Yeah. How long has it been in this state of decay, would you say?
I'd say the past decade has been rough.
Okay, so there's been a decade of deterioration.
Right.
Now, since you brought it on camera, you keep on looking down at your lap and going like this, like it is actively crumbling. Can I ask, in spite of the fact that it is so nice that you're able to bring it out now while we have Keisha on the show who wrote for the reboot, why have you held on to this decaying, rapidly crumbling Ronald Reagan head for close to a decade? It seems like all it does is cause you trouble.
Can I tell you something? I think we're going to lose the jaw.
You think it's going to fall off in real time?
I can feel it. I can feel it. You know, remember that? Remember that? It's a quote the Phil Collins lyric. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. I feel like if I move at all, Reagan's jaw will fall up, and it's going to be an unholy mess. I'm going to move my keyboard.
George, I'm going to say this.
Yeah.
I think you got to let it fall, baby.
Yeah, George,
Mr.
you
Lucas,
cannot.
hang on. Mr. Lucas, tear off that jaw. That's what I say.
Tear it off. I'm going to let
tear
it fall. Hold on.
Look, Patrick.
Give it a little wiggle. What happened?
Funny joke. Yeah.
A little wiggle.
Well, here's the thing. I bet if I try to hold on. This is a case of end it, don't mend it. Oh, you see
trickle down economics? Is that something?
Oh,
yeah, hold on.
Patrick. Oh, Patrick. George, can you hold him facing towards us?
Oh no. See, it's starting to.
No.
Oh, no.
Okay, George, hold it facing towards us. Reagan is staring us dead in the eyes. And now I want you to wiggle it a little back and forth like you're puppeteering his mouth, like having his jaw swing about.
George, why don't you just puppeteer it?
I guess I was, if I'm being honest, I was reluctant to put my fingers in Reagan's holes again.
Please put your fingers in Reagan's holes. As a simple guest, that's all I request.
You also got a t-shirt.
Hold on.
But this is the next thing.
Yeah.
After the physical swag.
Okay, George, you're maybe only going to get one statement out of him, so make it count. Give us one good Reagan statement.
Well, I guess I'd have to say I'm sorry for calling it Star Wars. I had no right to appropriate the name of a film franchise whose political sympathies did veer more towards the left than the center-right or indeed the far-right. We were wrong. But you know what? America is still strong. Stronger than I thought it was. America is as strong as my jaw. And as long as we continue to fight,
get mad, Ron.
We can look to that. We can be that shining city on the hill that our founding fathers believed we were capable of, and it truly can be morning in America once again. Oh God!
I can't believe, like, so many pieces fell off while you were puppeteering it, and yet the jaw remains.
Jaw remains.
Wow.
Hold on.
Wow.
Wow. It's one thing I've learned is that there is a piece structurally inside of Reagan's jaw that is stronger than the exterior.
Here's a question.
This tells me that America is stronger on the inside than we are on the outside.
Here is a question. We love to have our own characters on this show, right? Now, that is a spitting image, bendy. We don't own that. Ronald Reagan is a public figure. We don't own him. But can we make this proprietary? Can we call this character Rotting Ronnie?
Well,
can Rotting Ronnie be our IP?
I suppose that Rotting Ronnie could be a character on this show. I don't know how many more appearances I have in me. Sorry, Keisha, what were you saying?
No, I just think I think he has to be on the show because it's original IP because everything else has fallen off.
Yeah.
Like
that's right.
Right.
Yeah,
he's
it's
no
like
longer.
It's like I remember George and Watto. I used to work on this show called The Chris Gethard Show, and people would show up wearing costumes, and it was always you could change it a little. Like if Winnie the Pooh had a mustache, you could use that costume because it wasn't Winnie
You
the
have
Pooh
to change it like 30% or whatever the ratio is. And if 30% of Ronnie's face has rotted away, he is no longer recognizably from Ronald Reagan.
Just like I cut taxes on the top 30%.
Keisha, here's a real question for you while we wait for Ronnie's face to completely rot off. You wrote for this recent Spitting Image reboot. Were you surprised? Because this show is all like puppets of current, political figures, public figures. Were you surprised which characters you liked writing for more or less? Because there's a difference between who you like as a person and who kind of speaks to you comedically. Were there any characters that jumped out at you? Any characters you struggled?
Oh, I actually ended up liking writing Nancy Pelosi more than I thought I would. Just to talk about the left, even though I am someone on the left. Sorry, Ronnie, no one in my family voted for you. But
Nancy sleeps on the left.
But Nancy Pelosi really is, I felt like she pandered a lot last year, especially with all the Black Lives Matter stuff. And I still have the image burned into my mind of her wearing a kente cloth and going,
The worst.
Girl, no, really? No, now? Sit down. So that was one who I was surprised about.
Marvin Hamlish, 517, is asking how much do I have to donate to make Rotten Ronnie go away? I'm going to say $75.
70?
75, George.
No, it should be. How old was I when I died?
I think 92, maybe?
You died old.
Get the exact
You made
number.
I'll get the exact number. Hang on one second.
And that's the number of my death. Or how much did the deficit? Oh.
You were 93, Ronnie.
Oh no, Rotten Ronnie!
George, I didn't know you did horror, body horror. Like this is.
I mean, Keisha, that guy's face melts in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
That's right.
Yes.
I guess
Right.
you know what? That's fair. I have to rethink my interpretation of you.
Yes. George likes horror as long as it is body horror happening to fascists. That's what he likes.
Right.
You know what? Not a bad take.
Yeah.
How much did the deficit go up while I was in office?
I'll ask. I mean, that's going to be hundreds, probably, right?
Oh, too much to take me away.
Yeah.
Keisha, I'm a fan of Astronomy Club. It's a very funny group and a funny show. Are you working on more? Are there more Astronomy Club projects in the works?
Okay, George, I don't know if it's a compliment if you say it through Rotten Ronnie. I know that you, George Lucas, like Astronomy Club. We all like Astronomy Club. But when Rotten Ronnie says it, it feels like it's suddenly the wrong opinion to have.
Well, there you go again, Watto.
Ask in your regular voice, George. Your regular voice.
Keisha, can we expect more Astronomy Club? I want to see more sketches.
Well, let's be hopeful. We're in the works. There are more things coming out from all 8 of us that will be in the world soon. Some of us, not me, but I'll blow up the spot. Some of us got the chance to work for an Obama show, like one of those. No big deal. Obama, heard of him? The opposite of you, Reagan, Mr. Reagan. The opposite.
No, I beg to differ, Keisha. Obama and I may have differed politically, but he sought to be a transformational president and cited me as a model of a transformative president.
The only thing I'm going to draw is his neoliberal tendencies. But other than that,
also uniting the country, forming a coalition that was a winning coalition that served 2 terms. Me and Barack are in the 2-term president club.
Yeah, that's a fairly large club. I mean,
that's most presidents.
Yes.
Not Carter. I beat Carter so bad.
But he's still alive.
Yeah,
and you're
building houses like a fool.
I do want to say,
houses. Yes.
We did get a tweet from George Grimwood who says, I have Mulchin Mickey Dolan's spitting image doll.
Oh, this is starting to feel like an unpleasant Valley Sunday.
I just want to make it very clear. I want to circle back to something. Rotten Ronnie's opinion is that it is better than to be dead than to be alive building houses. There is no greater indignity than to build a house. He would rather die than build a house.
I was given the option. I was given the option at the pearly gates of hell. They said, do you want to come into hell, Ronnie? Or do you want to go back for 10 more years and build houses? I said, Satan, open those gates. I want to burn.
Mr. Satan, tear down those gates.
Tear down those gates. My chin is completely gone. I'm just Jagger. I got the moves like Jagger. I got the moves like Jagger. I got the moves like Jagger.
I've never seen someone rot in real time, but I'm touched it's Ronald Reagan because that's what makes me feel special.
Have him eat
Watch
it.
me kiss my jaw and make out with my own jaw. As the Gremlins once said, yum, yum.
So this is going in the trash, right? Or is he coming back?
No, he's going to keep it for another 10 years.
No, I will die tonight.
Maybe we're gonna-
I will say this is a stress position and my arms feel truly terrible.
Make sure you stretch after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So gross.
Maybe I will keep this.
Keisha, I imagine all of that was remote, right? You wrote on that show remotely because that was within the last year.
Yeah, I worked on a bunch of things remotely, and I've just gotten very used to staring at screens.
What are the best parts of working remotely in like a writer's room?
Oh, I love showering about 20 minutes before I have to go to work. And not like, and like showering, eating, doing everything, and then going to work. And because I have a dog, I have 2 dogs. They usually sit right next to me. And every so often their head will pop out and then go back in.
Yeah.
Also, when I'm like, my mind wanders, instead of like needing a stress ball to show that I'm like focusing on something else or a fidget spinner, I just like Google.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm a naughty girl and I just like see what's happening on page 6. Truly nothing because we're all trapped inside and the hot gas has died.
And if it is hot goss, you get mad at the people because you're like, why are you outside?
Yes.
Well, the only hot gas that was really, I feel like this year to be had was Kim and Kanye, and then the coup happened, and like part of me is like, well, clearly Kanye ran for president so he could get the coup going to distract from his marriage falling apart.
I mean, may I dare touch the hot button for a moment?
Please.
Here we go.
Last couple months, the terrifying spilling of the Army Hammer DMs, right? I say last couple months, maybe it was a month. I don't even know time anymore.
Yeah.
I'm like reading these things. I'm reeling, right? I'm like, this is horrifying. What is this, this and that? And then I start looking at the timestamps and I'm like, how many people did this guy date during a pandemic? The fact that all of it was happening during a pandemic on top of everything else, because none of this was, here I kept the receipts, they're from 2013. They were all like August. You're doing fucked up shit in August 2020? Stay home, Army Hammer. Stay away from everybody, Army Hammer.
Can we get some fan art that where instead of Welcome Home Roxy Carmichael, it's Stay Home Army Hammer?
Stay home, Army Hammer. Do not talk to anybody.
I agree.
Yeah, this is hard for Watto because he's a huge Lone Ranger fan. Watto
My
loves
favorite
the Lone
movie.
Ranger.
And up until this moment, it was not problematic at all.
I just don't. I feel like you should use his full name more because Armand Hammer just makes him feel as foolish as he has been the whole time.
Yeah.
Armand.
Armand, stay home.
Only good people are named Armand. Only nice, friendly people. We got White. We got Hammer. Any other ones?
There must be another Armand.
Gotta be another Armand. Armand White. Armand Hammer.
That's it.
I believe. Yeah. Well, let's say Armand Asante.
Oh yeah.
Good guy.
Of course.
What was the character that Principal Skinner turned out to be pretending to be?
Armin. Armin Tanzarian.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Boy,
and let's also say I have to correct you. It's Armand White with an O. Armand White. Right. Armand Asante.
You're right,
Patrick. Right. I tweeted a photo of what rotting Ronnie's droppings. The pile that was. I'm so glad I moved my keyboard out of the way.
Yeah,
this is what would have fallen onto my keyboard.
Okay, let me pull it up, George. Yeah. Oh, this is disgusting, George. Although very, very artistically placed, it looks great.
No, all I did was I swept in a little bit of I swept in some of it. But I mean, part of that looks like bone, you know?
Yeah.
Oh. It looks like an archaeological dig, which is very on brand, George. But it also looks like truffles, like a mushroom salad.
Right. Oh.
Or shit piles.
Yeah, it does look like a shit pile, kind of.
There's just something about the variation of colors and textures that makes it so much worse. Like that looks like 5 different types of like roots ground up, you know?
And this looks like croutons or bread, like.
No.
It's gross. It's gross.
I'm probably breathing in something now that's going to kill me.
There's spores in there.
There are spores in there. These something that has traveled from England all the way to the west coast of America and waited decades to enter my lungs.
Keisha, as a self-proclaimed puppet fan, was it frustrating to get to write for puppets finally? But oh boy, how are you doing, George?
That wasn't me.
No, that was my husband in the background.
God bless you.
It's the decay of rotten Ronnie passing through the computer screens and infecting other people in other rooms.
Oh no.
Keisha, can you let him know we said God bless you?
God bless you. He knows what.
Okay.
I was going to say, was it frustrating to get to write for puppets finally, but not get to be on set with the puppets because of the pandemic?
Yes, well, I don't think I could have written for puppets if there wasn't a pandemic because I would have had to be in England to do the writing.
Right.
So I think it's, a blessing and a curse. I get to do it, but I really want to be able to work with puppets in real time at some point. That way I can feel large in a small world. But also Spitting Image, most of the puppets are like human size. So I would have been dealing with monstrosities the size of me.
You could take them, though, if you wanted to. If one of those puppets gave you a sideways glance, you could take them.
Oh, I would fucking rip the nips off those puppets. Really just destroy them.
Now,
you do a nip rip?
Nip rip? That's my power move.
Now, here's the other question. How many of those puppers have nips to rip?
Probably more than you think.
Yeah. Patrick, wake up.
Yeah, you're showing your ass with that question.
You're underestimating how many nipples the Spitting Image puppets have.
I guess that's you're right.
Come
I
on,
feel like
Keisha's a great writer. Do you think she's going to write puppets that don't have nips? That's insulting to our guest.
Now, Keisha,
What
if
were
you were gonna fight a puppet, would you go straight for the puppet or would you go for the puppeteer? Because that could, if you puppeteer is vulnerable, they have their arms up. You go for the torso. Even just a little tickle, even if it was just a little tickle, would suddenly render the puppet weak. Or would you want that satisfaction? I mean, you've seen what can happen to foam. If you made contact with even fresh, new, strong foam.
Well, I support puppeteers because they're probably in a union, and if they're not, they should be. So I'd have to go for the puppet. I'd have to take down that puppet and then just curb stomp it. I've just realized that's a new goal in life. I want to curb stomp a puppet.
Right. I will say this: the one thing I have learned is that you might be targeting the strongest part of the puppet. I have a feeling I would love to curb stomp this Ronnie.
Puppet.
I think I might hurt my foot with the strength of this jaw connector. I mean, look at there's a little flap that doesn't want to give. Just doesn't want to give.
You got to wear a good steel toe when you stomp a puppet.
We should
just that one. That one is the one that I was like, it can die now. That puppet can die.
George, I have a question. George, I do have a question.
Yeah.
Can we get you to curb stomp that puppet?
I don't know that there's a good shot of it here. I don't think I don't think there's a way I could angle a good shot of it anywhere.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I was talking to a world-renowned filmmaker.
Retired.
Oh, yeah, you're right. All right.
Yeah. However, if you guys would, I'll do you this. Can someone lead me in? Oh, there we go. I really also especially like the fact that the cereal itself is inexplicably normal looking. You know what I mean? That it feels like the answers to the question which part of the cereal is Ronald's holes is still unanswered by what that cereal. And let's get an action figure of General Mills as a Star Wars character.
Yeah.
Let's see that as fan art as well. Can any of you or all of you, whoever's most confident, give me a little bit of the lead in and start going into the song "Stuck in the Middle with You"?
The jokers that let me balance was right here, right in the middle of you. Here I am, stuck in the middle of you.
Hello, Ronald. There's a health crisis happening in the 80s. I don't know if you noticed.
Is that our old enemy, the Mickey Mouse knife?
Yeah, I have a feeling it's about to become a fan favorite.
Oh, he just
talk about a redemption arc. There are a lot of people. I murdered a Darth Maul and a BB-8 inflatable when I moved inside, and people hated this knife. But now that I've chopped off Ronnie's ear with it, I think people are gonna start to really like it. Some people, anyway.
Making us knife ready.
Keisha, one of the things that we've been doing on this show is since Disney just announced so many new Star Wars shows, we've been trying to announce our own Star Wars shows. And we can't get these made because we're not in charge of Star Wars. George isn't anymore, but
we don't
still been
have the
announcing.
rights, but there's nothing stopping us from announcing them.
Yeah. Do you have a Star Wars show that you would want to do? Now, I don't know how big of a Star Wars fan you are, and it's fine if you're not. And I think you can tether this to whatever level of fandom you are.
Well, is it possible to have crossover in an alternate timeline
Absolutely.
between Indiana Jones and BB-8?
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, because in the canon in Indiana Jones, you see hieroglyphics of R2 and C-3PO. So it makes sense that BB-8, it's the same universe.
Yeah.
I think I just want to see a buddy comedy action adventure show where Indiana has to figure out where that pesky robot came from.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There he is. Look at
that. This drawing answers some questions about the scale of the universes. Our universe, which Indiana Jones lives in, and the Star Wars universe, everyone's a lot bigger.
This makes me realize, are humans the puppets of Star Wars?
That's possible.
But this looks like finger puppets, because if you think about how big BB-8 is,
yeah,
and then he's so much smaller than BB-8, because BB-8's only like, I don't know, this tall maybe. And then yeah.
Now, what would you want the show to be? So right now we have our three leads. It's you, BB-8, and Indiana Jones.
Oh, I'm in it?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, you'd have to be. You'd have to.
I mean, are you available? I mean, we can put together an offer. What do you? I mean, we're not, again, we don't have the green light, but are you available?
I can attach a name only, but let me know once funding is secured. I'll show up once we get to picture lock. But
because the series order is cast contingent, so we at least need your name attached to get the ball rolling.
Well, so I think it's really a cute adventure series where we're just trying to figure out how to get BB-8 home because he's just destroying villages.
Yeah.
Just rolling everywhere, murdering dozens of people.
Yeah.
You see a darker side of him.
Yeah.
And Indiana Jones is trying to liberate people as they go, and I feel like I'm the rogue, flustered scientist who's like, this can't be possible. This just can't be possible, and I doubt the whole way until we get BB-8 home. It's more of a limited series.
It's a good hit.
That gives us a better chance of getting Harrison.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He's not going to sign up for anything where he might get roped into. And really, I think realistically, we want to be realistic with this. Your character would have a lot more screen time than Indiana. We'd probably want to put Indiana almost in like how like in later seasons Sam Waterston when he became the district attorney on Law and Order, so his scenes can be in an office. He could be seated. He doesn't have to walk around the courtroom as much, So Harrison, I think we'd put Indiana in like a less active situation, and you would do more of the action, your BB-8.
Yeah, I think it's a really tight action sequence of just like high five, rolling, pipetting, the works.
I do want to bring up this piece of fan art again. This is by our own Forrest, Trash People Pod. And I want to bring on Bryson. Are you here, Bryson?
Yeah.
Can we put this on a t-shirt?
Absolutely.
Now, wait, Bryson.
Yeah. What up?
We need Forrest to take another pass at this drawing because it is out of date. We need more rotting on this Ronnie. I think if we're going to sell this to people, we need more rot on the Ronnie.
Yeah. And I wanted to say Rotten Ronnie on top, and maybe on the bottom have it say, Mr. Satan, tear down those gates. I think it needs both.
Perfect.
Thank you, Bryson.
That's a beautiful piece of art.
It's great. Yeah, I mean, he really...
Second.
Yeah,
wait a second. Good. Bryson, get back in here.
Bryson?
Yeah, what up?
It almost feels like us getting a piece of fan art and feeling like maybe it should be on a t-shirt has become a segment. And if it's going to be a segment, it might need a bumper.
Watto, I will say Forrest is part of the in-house team, and that we can turn around much quicker.
And I might say, what time is it, Bryson?
You should explain to Keisha what this is.
Keisha, this is a very official talk show. And you've written for talk shows before. You wrote for The Opposition. Jordan Klepper wrote The Busy Tonight. Sometimes you need to demarcate that you're going into a segment, a recurring segment, right? And what is the best way visually to let the audience know that this segment is beginning?
You brand it. You got to brand the segment visually,
Right.
Bumper, graphics, sound, music.
I think it's time to open up the bumper factory.
Bryson,
So this is
Okay.
wait a second. Do you plan on operating heavy machinery at the bumper factory like this?
Listen, Watto, I've been without my hard hat for months, and you haven't said anything until last week.
I have been sitting on my rage, but I can stay silent no more.
I'll put into Texas, see if there's a hard hat in the vicinity. In the meantime,
So,
what do you need?
I say to you, it feels like new shirt ideas are coming up on a regular basis. We could use a bumper for that. And your response is, well, Forrest works for Planet Scum in-house, so it's a much easier process. Yes, a much easier process to get the shirt made. Not an easier process to let the audience of this show know when a shirt is being pitched. It's confusing. I'm here in the dark. I'm going, is the shirt being pitched or not? I don't know. Wait, Keisha, tell them what we need.
Which shirt?
No, what you were just saying about on the talk shows, how you let an audience know when a segment started.
Okay, we need a branded bumper that helps introduce a segment that makes people know what they're watching.
Yes.
For example, let's just show Keisha an example. For example, if Zach Cherry was on the show, we might show this bumper.
Cherry picking.
Right.
Something like that.
For example, like if we were afraid that someone was getting too comfortable on a Zoom work meeting and was going to show their genitalia, what bumper would we show?
At least Pee Wee Herman was in an X-rated movie theater.
Yeah.
Now, for example, and it's not, I have to make it very clear, it's not, okay?
Yeah.
This is the last week of January. This is not the case. But if it were joke week, we would need a bumper to tell us that.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not sure where the joke week one is.
Well, I mean, if you needed a bumper to let people know that it's not joke week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's relevant.
What are you doing? Joke Week's not until September 2021.
Sorry.
This is
Yeah.
what we're talking about. We need bumpers like this so people know when we're pitching a t-shirt.
Watto, I've got great news.
Yes!
Wow. You found that really quick.
There
Okay.
we go.
Okay.
All right.
much
So Bryson, I guess you'll go work on it then?
What am I working on? Are you like, you need bumper for like when you talk about t-shirts? We've got to talk in
Okay.
t.
All right. No.
Okay, close. This
Should it
is
be-
what it should be. It should be talking peas without Zooks.
There we go.
Okay,
I was
so I
gonna-
want similar,
Understood.
exciting for the. What are you
Yeah.
going to say, Patrick?
Well, I was going to pitch everybody's working on some t-shirts. Like everybody's working for the weekend.
That doesn't rhyme.
Everybody's working on some t-shirts. It works fine.
Just because it fits in the same meter doesn't mean that right.
There's no Keisha. Are there any bad ideas in writers' rooms?
Yes.
Okay.
All the time.
Patrick,
I'm gonna go.
Bring Patrick back in. The first rule of business, which you'd know if you ever worked a day in your life, you never open your mouth till you know what the shot is.
Okay.
Talking tea without Zooks.
Talk
But-
T's, right?
Tea.
Tees.
Yes.
I have a pitch. Can it just be? It's the same thing as the talking tea with Zooks in the book, like the same guitar riff, except it's just shots of t-shirts being made.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what it was gonna be. Why are you
Yeah.
making it
It's
sound
going
like?
to be.
Listen, do you work at the bumper factory? Listen, Patrick.
Bye, Bryson.
Can we
See,
bring
and that's
Bryson-
why
can we bring
bumpers-
Bryson back for just a second.
Yeah, bring him back.
Hey, Bryson. How you doing?
Sorry about my behavior back there.
No, it's fine. I think it was fine.
Patrick was in the wrong. You were in the right.
Bryson, I'm gonna email you a bumper that I made while you were arguing about why you couldn't make a bumper or whatever you were arguing about.
Yeah.
But I need you to add some audio to it. I'm gonna text you what the segment is called. I need you to add audio and some text to it. I'm texting you the name of the segment now.
Okay.
Have you received the email from me?
I mean, I'll have to look. But George, I feel as though you're trying to burn me.
You have to look. Oh, I'm so. How shall I tender my apology to you for this, Bryson? You have to look. I'm so sorry, Bryson. I'm so sorry. You have to look.
I got an email from you that says this message has no content, but it has a video on it. Great.
Okay. No, but the content is the video, right?
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry if I didn't do small talk. Here, do you want me to send you I'll reply with some of the stuff. What do you like? I don't know what you like. What do you
I mean,
like?
it would have been nice for you to greet me in the email.
All right, here we go. Hi, Bryson. Here, let's go right together. How are you? I'm doing the show now.
George,
So
I feel as though you're
can't
trying
talk.
I feel as though you're trying to burn me and you're asking me to
Bye-bye.
assist you in burning me.
George Lucas.
That's enough, Bryson. I'm gonna let you figure this out. You can figure this one out.
Yeah, I can.
Right.
I got the hard hat now.
That my bumper is the number one priority.
Oh yeah, that's the number one priority over the T bumper.
Bye, Bryson.
Keisha, I'm so sorry you had to witness that.
I'm so sorry. Wait a second. Don't we have a bumper for that as well, Patrick?
Well, we have this.
Oh no.
Don't we have a bumper for bumping it up to the top?
Oh yeah, we do.
I just want to make sure all of these things are clearly communicated to the audience. Otherwise, it's confusing without the bumper.
I know.
I only know what's going on because of the bumper, so thank you.
Happy to help.
I was scared. I was lost.
Keisha, what's your favorite TV show of all time?
Oh, of all time? That changes. Of all time?
You can give me a couple.
Actually, it's probably Carnival.
Wow. Okay. George, you and I were just talking about Carnival.
We were just talking about Carnival, about how when the show got taken off of HBO and they stopped making it, how the creator had said he needed like 4 or 5 more seasons to finish the story. And I was like, boy, I've been there. I remember when we finished Last Crusade, and I was like, please let me do 20 or 30 Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. The story's not done.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, Carnival. I feel like that's not one that we haven't we had someone from Carnival on the show? Am I making that up?
It sounds like a fantasy, Patrick.
It's
creepy.
I like creepy. I like shows that I like anything that haunts me. Like I really enjoyed The Leftovers. I like being very uncomfortable when I watch. Like, still, it's even though he himself is very another director, I'm sorry, George, but like one of my favorite childhood movies and young adult movies was Requiem for a Dream. And I just watch it on repeat. And a lot of people would be like, what's wrong with you?
Ass to ass.
Oh, mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Mashed potatoes. Yeah.
George, your response was ass to ass.
That's the most famous quote from that movie.
Ass to ass, mashed potatoes.
I know, but I don't want to
I feel like we're playing jump rope in the schoolyard. That feels like
or telephone.
Mashed potatoes.
It feels like you're doing telephone.
Yeah.
Like ass, mashed potatoes.
Yeah. Oh, wasn't that an uncomfortable Thanksgiving? I said, pass the mashed potatoes. What is going on? Yeah, Requiem for a Dream is an intense one. The music for that, I think, is so great. Like the score for that is so intense. Yeah.
I love Ellen Bernstein.
She's
like,
great. She's great.
Like, for me, that story, like specifically her storyline, is the thing that haunts me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why I like it. I love anything that I can't forget.
Right.
Like I watch it and I was like, oh,
excited.
I'm scarred.
Be excited.
Yes.
It's a great, so many great catchphrases from that.
There we go.
There we go.
Stay home, Army Hammer.
Stay home. Don't talk to anyone. Don't text anyone. Do not come in contact with anyone. Patrick thinks it's funny.
I also love that it still stars Winona and Jeff Daniels. And there's something, it feels like I'm mad at Army for having the font run into his beard like that. I'm like, get those letters out of your beard, Army.
Yeah.
Also, I do want to say that if another like round of info came out about the story and they said that someone involved's name was Dinky Bassetti, I'd be like, yeah, that sounds right. I don't know anymore. Whatever.
Don't want him talking to anybody. Keep Dinka Bassetti safe.
Also, backing up to Carnival for just a second, I feel like one of the HBO sets a pretty high bar for opening title sequences. And Carnival, I feel like I think I defy anyone to watch the opening titles of the first episode of Carnival and not at least try out the episode because it's so intriguing. It sets the mood so well right at the very top.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I also really enjoyed that because I didn't get to have any conclusions.
Right. It ends on a pretty big question mark.
And a question mark where I was like, I'm here. Oh, no, we're done? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I've never seen Carnival, but I want to know, do you have an ending that you would want it to have? Or is it something where you're like, I don't know, whatever he wants to make it?
Oh, in my mind, it gets super geopolitical with spirituality, and somehow we get that the devil did help get the A-bomb, but it was for different reasons, we think. And ultimately, I would love it to end in a place where the world, the dropping of the bombs is connected to the liberation of humanity, so we don't know if the devil is inherently bad or inherently good.
Yeah, so you want to bring in maybe bring in a trade federation, have like a character who maybe looks like the devil.
I thought this show was just a bunch of weirdos at a circus.
Oh, Patrick.
It gets pretty out there, and I'm just like I liked the larger world conspiracy and the imagery that was in the background that like had a lot of allusions to power and the wars, and by wars I mean the world ones.
Keisha, did you watch?
And Clancy Brown, who has been on The Mandalorian, is one of the big stars of Carnival.
Yes, big fan of Clancy Brown.
He's great in oh my gosh, what's the movie I just watched that just came out?
Shawshank.
No. Woman.
Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank Redemption. It didn't just come out, Patrick. It's been out for decades.
It's from the
Patrick.
90s.
You sound
Promising young woman.
cool.
Promising
might
young
be getting-
woman. He plays her dad. He plays her
Yeah.
dad.
But I think
And yeah, guys, I get screeners, okay?
But I think Clancy Brown needs to be like shine. Like we need to remember that he's also been in SpongeBob for decades and
Crabs.
decades.
Crabs.
Yeah, representing the workhorse that is Krusty.
Yes.
I will say
Yes.
this. I will say this. I often and I don't know that there are too many actors that I have this problem with. I often think when I'm talking about Clancy Brown that I am forgetting and calling him by his character name. Like when I say Clancy Brown, I'm like, no, that's the name of the Reverend from Carnival, or no, that's the guard. That's the guard at Shawshank Prison. Like I always feel like the name Clancy Brown. Like no, I'm getting it confused somehow. That's not the actor's name. That's the character he played, and it's just it feels like a name that is 100 years old.
Patrick.
His name is too good for
for a normal person.
this
Just walk around, go to the
Yeah.
grocery store with that name. You should be in fiction.
Right.
But
that is a name befitting a character that Clancy Brown would play.
But I would also argue, it's a name befitting Clancy Brown too. You know what I mean?
Patrick.
Like he owns up to it. What's up, Lana?
Patrick, is
What's
there
up,
a
Lana?
reason you have not asked Clancy Brown on the George Lucas talk show?
And
I'll
if
say
there
this.
is, it better be a good one, Patrick.
It better be a good one.
You don't know that I haven't asked him.
That's why I'm asking. I'm asking if you've asked.
I have asked in the past, but let me double check to see if it's been since we've been online.
All right. Let's get some fan art of Patrick with this little poem. I have asked in the past. Whatever.
The last time I asked was for New York Comic Con, so it was before this. I will ask him.
You haven't asked since the before times.
Since the before times.
But also, I had a thought. What was Clancy Brown as a child and a baby? Because that's a hell of a name for a child.
Yeah,
that's a good question.
Yeah, you're a good man, Clancy Brown.
In my mind, it's just same face, just smaller. Nothing's different.
Can we start getting a lot of Peanuts-based fan art in which you just replace Charlie Brown with Clancy Brown? Just anything. A Clancy Brown Christmas. I feel like we've opened up a universe here.
I'll say this. If you want to tweet, you're a good man at Clancy Brown, I think that's fun. And I think he would enjoy that. I'm going to see the earliest we can see what he looks like. Let's see.
Do you think without you have to tag him in the thing for it to make sense to him?
Yeah.
If you just tweet, you're a good man, period, it's going to feel weird.
No, I think
I just said
Clancy Brown.
I just sent you a photo, Patrick. I did a Google image search for Clancy Brown young, and this was the first photo that came up.
I found the first photo from the first movie that he's in.
The first photo.
Let's see what this looks like. Hang on.
Keisha, was there some commotion?
Oh, that's my little dog eating. Hold on, let's see if you can see her.
Heard a little clang, and I saw you paying attention. It looks like a little fox almost.
She is. She does look like a little fox. Loretta.
That's Loretta Lynn?
That's Loretta Lynn. You've met Hank. So this is Loretta. My little fox.
Hello, Loretta.
She is bitty.
That's very cute. So this is Clancy Brown in the first movie that he was in, a movie called Bad Boys. Bad Boys in 1983. But then Watto sent me, you searched Clancy Brown young,
it's
right?
It's not funny anymore. It's not funny anymore because you showed your picture, which was real. The joke was that I Googled Clancy Brown young, and the first photo that came up was old. And it would have been funny if you just showed it. But instead, you showed the picture of him looking younger. Thank you for stepping on my shoe.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. The picture didn't come through until my photo was already on the screen, Watto.
But Patrick, please accept our sincere thank yous for curb stomping that joke.
You're welcome.
Oh, well, look at him getting sassy with me.
You're
Patrick,
welcome.
Patrick, you're a little stinker.
Keisha, if they gave you $200 million to go make a movie,
Yeah.
what movie would you make? $200 million.
$100 million.
Because I know you have to go soon, so I want this to be the the last thing you leave us with.
It's not a movie. I'd finish up Carnival.
Wow.
Ooh, wow, that's a great, what a great use of that's really impressive. What a great impulse.
Yeah.
I'd let it get the Game of Thrones lore that it deserved.
Oh,
sure.
Let it fall apart, piss off fans, and then just end it.
Oh, that's a great idea.
That's fun.
No one would be expecting it. No one would be expecting it.
Thank you for coming on. You're the best.
Thank you, Keisha. Let's just check in with Bryson to see on the off chance that my bumper is anywhere close to being ready.
No, George, I'm sorry.
But
Okay,
I
bye,
delivered on
Bryson.
a silver platter, Bryson.
Keisha, before you leave, I want to say, if I can plug a Keisha Zollar project.
Yes.
You were in a very underseen movie from the last decade that I always love and recommend to people. See You Next Tuesday, which is so good. And I looked it up, and it is currently streaming on Tubi, which is also streaming Sit Down, Shut Up with guest stereotherapy. But that movie is so goddamn good, and no one talks about it.
It's one of my favorite projects I've ever gotten a chance to work on. All the women, Eleanor and Molly, I still love that movie. I'm still close to the director, and thank you. I love See You Next Tuesday.
You're great in that movie. The movie is great. Eleanor Pieta from Cocoon Dance Central. People should watch it.
Yeah, that's rad.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Keisha.
Thank
Stay
you.
safe. Have fun.
Bye.
Bye, Keisha.
Oh no. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye, Keisha.
Wow.
So gross, George.
Can we get Dave in here? Is Dave around?
Let's get Dave around.
Hey,
Dave, have we gotten any updates?
I'll check again, but as of 30 seconds ago, nope. Just sitting here clicking refresh, just wondering.
It's almost like he doesn't want this anymore.
It's almost like he said it in the moment that this would be a good idea, and then realized that maybe not.
Well, I'll say this. Well, we'll talk about it later. Go ahead.
Okay.
No, what were you going to say, man?
I was going to open it up if someone else wanted to sponsor it.
Now,
we could push this to next week.
This is what I was going to say as we all shrug and leave the door open. Dave, you were saying in the private chat that you had to go take care of your baby twins, and so you were away from the chat for a little bit. So I want to fill you in on what happened when you were gone.
Okay.
There's a new popular character on the George Lucas talk show, Rotten Ronnie. He is going to get his own T-shirt, and some people.
He's popular.
Oh, there's a piece dangling off him now.
Yeah, he's
Hello,
rotten.
Jersey Dave. How are
Hey,
you?
Rotten Ronnie.
How are the twins? Are they sleeping? Oh, two
They're gonna never know about you.
Two little angels.
But Dave, I thought you should know because Rotten Ronnie has become so popular.
Yeah.
You know, Grogismo might be looking over his shoulder.
Oh,
he thinks he's on the way out.
Gizmo?
I don't know. My money's on Grogismo.
Oh,
Why is your money on Grogismo?
Why is that, Jersey Dave?
Well, I mean, first, Ronnie, I'm sorry to say this, but you're horrible to look at.
I've got a dangler. I've got a little dangler. Yum yum.
I know.
Oh, second course. Oh,
Hang on. I want some fan art of realistic Ronald Reagan with a speech bubble that says, "I've got a little dangler. Yum yum."
Ugh.
Oh boy,
What a nightmare.
I do think that it's nice to see you, Jersey Dave.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you're part of the show.
Thanks.
You're not in a union, are you?
No, not
Oh,
unionized. Sorry.
good. That would be the end of America.
Uh-huh.
That's socialism.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
Dave.
Dave, someone is asking what shirt you're wearing, Dave. I don't know why I'm doing this. Like I'll be able to see over the black line. Can we
peek down?
Can we see him?
Looks like he's got
Who
the
is this?
Wow.
our old friend Grogizmo.
Who is this little man?
We gotta do more with Grogizmo. I like Grogizmo.
Well, this is the problem.
Yeah.
Rotten Ronnie now exists in 3 dimensions. He's a real, palpable character who can appear on screen.
That
Gizmo
doesn't
is
seem
just
fair.
he's a still image. He's not popping in the scene.
No.
Wada, I've got really good news for you.
Oh. Are you John Krasinski over here? Look, it's John Krasinski up in here, up in this bitch. we got John Krasinski up in this bitch.
Yeah,
What
I got
is
some
it?
good news for you.
What are your good news, Dave?
What's the good news? Oh.
What?
Worry no longer. He is risen.
Yum.
He's real. I just put the words on his hat today.
Make America gay again.
That's right, Ronnie.
Wait a second.
Wow.
Wait a second.
Not
Wait
beautiful?
a second.
Yeah.
You could call me John Krasinski because
Why?
I too have some good news.
What?
I have an original character I would like to debut on the show.
More original than this, which is the original?
Yes, this
Wow.
character is more original, and you will know he is original because of his name. Grogru's and Gragras, let me introduce the original Grogizmo.
You can tell he's original because of his song.
Uh-huh.
And he
and he moves his little head, and his hat is human size.
It's a big hat. It's
Yes.
funny.
Big hat.
The hat might need some more work.
Big
I feel like that is an original character because it's not Grogizmo, because that hat.
What?
Hey,
This is what
Wado,
Grogizmo's hat looks like.
Why do I have a question?
Yes.
Does that Grogizmo own any cows?
Any callows?
Any cows?
Moo, moo.
No, the Grogizmo doesn't own cows. Why?
Well, that confirms it. Big hat, no cattle.
What?
What?
Big hat, no cattle.
I want to point out that Dave said, "Did he freeze?" Because none of us understood.
Big hat, no cattle.
I don't know what that means.
Is that a saying?
Why don't you try Googling the phrase big hat,
No.
no cattle?
No.
I'll bite.
Wait, Watto, I think I figured something out. I'm going to take Dave and George out for a second. Watto, do you want yours to be a real original character?
It is original. I'm sorry, I'll make the hat smaller next time. What?
Hear me out. What if this is baby Grogizmo?
You're saying this is the baby. He's smaller.
Yes.
The hat is so big on him.
He's the baby. You gotta love him.
Okay, well, let me say this, okay? Let me say this. I like this
Tell him to
because
stop
I'm feeling... I'm trying to find where the switch is. This is the problem I have every time. Look, there are a couple issues in R&D with Baby Grogizmo. Listen! I was feeling competitive because Jersey Dave got to Grogizmo before Watto did. But now I feel good because he has Grogizmo and I have Baby Grogizmo, and there's no way for him to one-up me. So I feel good. Let's bring them back on and let them know the announcement that I have won. So I have a new character. His name is Baby Grogizmo. He's original. He's a different character. Dave, you have Grogizmo. I have Baby Grogizmo. He's unique and everyone likes him. And so I win.
Mm-hmm. I have some good news for everyone but Watto. I'm going to go back to big.
John Krasinski is returns.
Not only do I have
Hey,
the
wait,
original.
hang on, Jersey Dave.
Yeah.
You were great on SNL last night.
Thank you.
Get out of here. Get out
I
of here.
haven't seen it yet, but I hear I smooched Pete Davidson.
Wait, are you about to fight some terrorists?
Yep, that's you. Wait, I want to actually show you my good news.
Amazon's Jack Ryan.
He's got some good news, folks, except it's not for me, apparently.
What is your good news?
I have another original character.
What?
Oh no!
I made this guy, and I had to order 2 different dolls, slap them together. I had all these pieces left over.
What?
So I would like to introduce you. This is goo. This is all the pieces of Girl Gizmo that I didn't use for this one. Just also smooshed together. What do you mean the horror? People are saying that this is horrible. This is the most adorable thing I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
His name is Goo, G-U, because you take Girl Gizmo, the only pieces you have left over are goo. And that's this little man. He's so cute. And everyone's saying ungodly, and they're saying really mean things, and I don't like it. And I also have good news. My children fucking love Goo. My children fight over who gets to play with Goo.
How do they feel about Girl Gizmo?
I haven't really. This one's got like hard pieces. They're 7 months old. They're, you know.
Me full screen.
No! Do you have a. Oh, wait, I can do it. You about to do something?
I have. You can call me John Krasinski and tell me that you think that Leatherheads was underrated because I have a new character to introduce. You have Girl Gizmo. I have Baby Girl Gizmo.
Yeah.
You have Goo. Well, I have a new character I would like to introduce. Box of Goo. This is a box that has the parts that I didn't use. It's got a lot of stuffing. It's got some arms. What, George?
Watto, is there a chance that might be Baby Box of Goo?
This is Baby Box of Goo. It's a little box, and it's got some goo in it.
Watto.
That's a great character.
Watto, don't hold up that Grogu head because Yoda might get scared. He might think that you really beheaded Grogu, and that's not okay, Watto.
You're telling me that Yoda would get scared if I did this?
No!
He would not understand that it was political satire if I did this.
Wow, you're being a real Kathy Griffin right now.
Understand it, I do.
He gets it. Would you understand, Yoda, if I did this?
Understand and appreciate.
Those look very familiar.
Yeah, right.
Oh, God. Oh no! Wow. Well,
Right.
This is a journey.
Good goo.
I feel a little bit like John Krasinski right now, but only a little bit. Because I have a little bit more good news.
Ooh.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
And I feel like I also feel like what could you consider that room that you're in right now, Jersey Dave? I feel like you work out of that room.
I'm in the office.
That's your office.
Yeah. And also, is there a chance, Jersey Dave, that if you just have a little bit of good news, that you might be Baby John Krasinski?
I think that I might be Baby John Krasinski. Because I have for you just a little good news. Goo, we all know, Girl Gizmo has a hat. Goo, where's the hat? Goo also has a hat. Just a little good news.
Wow.
Great news.
Wow.
I want to be clear. That was a surprise for all of us.
That was
I didn't know about the head of Baby
Baby Box of Goo.
Baby Box of Goo.
The box of goo. The baby box of goo.
Baby Box of Goo. And Baby John Krasinski in the little office is a surprise to all of us as well.
The ceilings are. It's actually my basement. The ceilings are very low. I hit my head.
It's a baby office. It's a baby office.
It's a little baby office.
Oh.
Hang on.
Hey. Wow. I directed A Quiet Place. Oh, I guess you guys could call me baby John Krasinski.
Why is that?
I have a tiny bit of good news. We all know that baby girl Goo has to make America gay again.
Uh-huh.
We all know that girl Gizmo, baby girl Gizmo has to make America gay again. Huh? Girl Gizmo has to make America gay again. Huh?
Great.
We know.
Oh no!
Goo.
Don't make America gray again. Use Grecian formula to dye my roots.
Back to one. We know girl Gizmo. George, I can't believe you came out of retirement for that one.
Can we see it one more time? I want to say, great job, Bryson. But I want to see it again so people can really process every aspect of that.
I want to be clear. I forgot that you sent something to Bryson, and in my head, I was like, "How did Bryson do that?"
Right.
I was very confused.
Well, I want to introduce a new. I guess why don't you introduce your little bit of good news?
I was going to say, I'm baby John Krasinski, baby John Krasinski.
Yeah.
We all know that Girl Gizmo has to make America gay again. Hat. We all know that baby girl Gizmo has to make America gay again. Hat. I think I lost a G on the hat. The hat needs some work. We all know that
the lettering's tough.
Yeah, we all know that Goo has a pretend it's an Arliss hat. I would like to announce that baby box of Goo has an Amazon original The Tick hat.
Oh, wonderful! That's great news.
It's just a little bit of good news.
We honestly are going to need a bumper for baby John Krasinski's little bit of good news.
Yes, Bryson, we need the baby John Krasinski's little bit of good news.
And then we need it to be starring Jersey Dave as baby John Krasinski.
Yes, because he's really popping in the role.
And Watto as little baby John Krasinski.
I do want to say,
yeah.
I do want to say, hang on, Inspector Tiger in the chat said, "Can we get a Jersey Dave shirt in recognition of his services?" And I want to say, we've been through that once, and they do not sell.
Yeah, no one wanted
bring it back.
Yeah.
3 or 4 up in my attic because, and I've given them out to family because no one bought them.
Next time we do a charity stream, on our next charity stream, can we have at least one of those shirts as a raffle item that
a Jersey Dave shirt?
Yeah.
Don't you want to make money?
No, we would be making money for charity. No.
I think
but if you say you have 3 or 4 shirts up in your attic, will you donate a few of those to the charity stream? Because they'll donate a lot more than we get on the shirt.
Let me bring in Bryson really quick.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Do you guys need something?
I mean, stand up, Bryson. Stand up closer to the camera so we can see this. Would there be any greater redemption story of 2021 than the "I Can Make It Bosser" shirt, notoriously low-selling TCGS shirt? So low-selling, they were cut up and sold instead as Jersey Dave cum rags, which continued to not sell. Would there be any greater redemption story in 2021 if we re-released the "I Can Make It Bosser" shirt and it was a best
number one? If we could make it, would there be?
Never happen, man.
Would there be a bigger? No, Jersey Dave. Because here's the thing: what an alpha move that would be for the George Lucas Talk Show to take something from a much more popular show.
Yeah,
Dave, I need you to do something right now. I need you to do something. Take out your phone, Dave. Open up a text message.
Okay.
Type in the name Chris Gethard. I need you to get permission for us to sell these shirts again.
I can ask him tomorrow.
Can you ask him tonight?
Ask him
can ask him
now.
tonight.
We are on
Burn
the air.
the
Dave. We're
ass.
not on the air tomorrow.
While you're making that call, you've already met him, but introducing into the universe of the show, another character, and this is my little bit of good news. You know him, you love him. He's little bouncy baby Barney Rubble.
We have added so many.
And I'm almost reluctant to add 2 more characters. Truly, it was just because they were right next to Barney. They have no relevance thematically.
That's it.
That's it.
I guess that's it. That was a short one.
Okay.
No, George.
I wanted to do this to Vlad.
George, you still have a dangly.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
So tonight we have added Rotten Ronnie, the original Grogizmo, Baby Grogizmo, Ghoul, Little Baby Box of Ghoul.
You say
and Little Bouncing Baby Bonnie Rubble.
Yeah, Rubble.
And while we're at it, let's go ahead and add the Orange and Blue Roadrunner twins.
George.
This is feeling sweaty. It feels like we're really pushing our luck on the original characters now.
I feel, geez, Bryson, Dave, I'm going to let you guys go. I don't want you to be a part of this. Okay?
Thank you.
Because now that Watto, George, now that the Red and Blue Roadrunner twins have been introduced, like
Orange and Blue,
it just feels like
what?
I don't want it to feel political. I don't want this to feel like a political bit. Red and Blue.
It feels political. It feels like something different has happened. It feels like the world has changed.
What could happen? What could be different? What options do we have?
What options do we have?
Yeah, what options do we have?
What
to change the world? We got to change the world.
How? Patrick muted himself.
Patrick, don't mute yourself.
He asked a provocative question and then mutes himself.
Because
he's afraid to debate in the marketplace of ideas.
Watto, I just feel like I've talked a lot tonight, and it's now time to sit back and listen.
Right.
Okay. Well, I would like to
I'd rather you cute yourself than mute yourself. And by that I mean I'd rather you make like an adorable little cute version of yourself. Yeah. Cute yourself. Don't mute yourself.
Like little baby rubber Patrick.
Little bouncing baby rubber Patrick.
I saw someone suggest that we name the characters. Let me get this right. This was up here. Tired Paul suggested Barney Rubber and the Road Rubbers.
Yeah, that's great. Wow, a lot of pushback in the people take when you guys are negative, it turns the chat poisonous because I'm scrolling up a little bit and people's resistance to the Orange and Blue Roadrunner twins. It's just toxic. It's just I'm looking over here and I'm half expecting these people to start buying GameStop stock.
It's because we shaped the conversation, George.
Well, that's I try to be positive on the show, Patrick.
George, let's try it again. Idiot. You're right. We didn't give people a chance to make up their own mind. Let's start it over. Let's pretend that never happened.
I like that name that you said, Barney Rubble and the what?
Barney Rubber and the road rubbers.
Yeah, now being positive.
Reintroduce them. Clean slate,
Let's
reintroduce them.
Let's start again. Let's start again.
Start again.
George Lucas.
Hello, I'm George Lucas, creator of Star Wars. Welcome to the George Lucas Talk Show.
Hello, I'm Watto, the flying space truth / announcer / warm-up comic / sidekick.
I'm nervous, George Watto. I'm nervous that we went too far back.
What?
Oh.
I'm nervous that we went too far back.
Why? We were trying to reintroduce Barney Rubber in the Road Rubber.
Yeah, but we did that during the after show.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think we need to do the after show again. I'm suggesting that we hop through the after show, bypass it completely, go straight to the little place I like to call George Lucas Talk Show After Dark.
Should I howl too?
Yeah. Oh, 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 on a real late night vibe here, and I'd love to introduce you to a few of my coolest friends.
Oh, I can't wait to meet these guys for the first time.
These are some.
Cool.
What are you gonna say, Patrick?
I was gonna say I also can't wait to meet these guys for the first time.
Right.
Yeah, let's stay positive, baby.
Stay positive, baby. Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to my little friends, Barney Rubber and the Road Rubbers.
Wow. I love these guys.
I like these guys.
These guys are happening, baby. Out of sight.
I like them.
I'm not saying they're going to get a story arc or anything.
But maybe they will.
Maybe they will.
Now, George, Marvin Hamlish in the chat is saying Barney good, Roadrunner's bad.
Martin, make me full screen.
You're talking to the wrong guy, George.
Make me full screen.
This is Marvin.
Hatch.
Marvin, you nasty.
Patrick, make me full screen.
Yeah, sure, Lotta.
Marvin, You nice.
I'm gonna go full screen now.
You're already there, baby.
Marvin, you nasty. And you know what, Marvin? I like that. I didn't think Rotten Ronnie would make it over to the After Dark.
After Dark?
Didn't think so. I
Yeah.
wasn't sure.
You. What a fun show it's being. Things feel pretty good after dark. Patrick,
Yes, Rotten Ronnie.
how are you doing?
He's gone. He's gone. We're taking him out. He's gone.
What's happening?
What's up, Rotten Ronnie? You said my name. What do you want?
How are you doing, Patrick?
I mean, I don't know exactly how I'm doing.
I think you're doing a great job tonight, Patrick.
Oh, thanks, Rotten Ronnie.
Good job. Good job booking the guests. And good job keeping the interviews on track.
Now, Ronnie,
I want to say, I think you're often an underrated interviewer.
Oh, thank you.
You don't get enough credit for often being the most prepared and the person who comes in with the most interesting questions at times.
Yeah. Now, Ronnie, I will say that is a compliment coming from you because I know how much you hate the press. You don't like the press.
I don't consider you press.
I would say I'm press at this point. I think we're all press.
I'm impressed by your abilities.
And that's funny.
Rotten Ronnie, I would say by the amount of publicists that turned me down saying my client is not doing any press at this point, I would say we're press.
Oh, okay. Well, you would know.
Yeah, Ronnie, I appreciate your compliments. I don't know if I can accept them, but I appreciate them.
Watto.
What? Don't compliment me. I don't want to hear any compliments.
When I was in show business, I worked with more than my share of Toydarians.
I don't want to hear this. None of these.
I even had some Toydarians in my administration.
Oh God.
And I've always supported Toydaria strongly.
But none of this feels like an endorsement when taken with your other opinions on other issues.
Like what? Ask me my opinion on the AIDS crisis.
I don't want to.
How do you think you handled the AIDS crisis, Ronnie?
What AIDS crisis?
Okay, see, this is what I'm talking
Classic
about.
Rotten Ronnie. Classic
Watto.
Rotten Ronnie. They named an airport. They named an airport after me.
You have to admit that was classic Rotten Ronnie. It doesn't mean we like it, but it classically fits in with his behavior.
Now, Watto, I do have one thing that I feel like we should say to Rotten Ronnie because I think I'm going to take Rotten Ronnie off. Is that okay?
Oh, okay.
So loud, Watto. You don't like Rotten Ronnie, right?
No, he's a dick.
He's a dick. I don't like him either. I have something I want to say to him about what I want him to do. Will you back me up if I say it?
Yeah, but I have something I want to say to him, and you have to back me up on what I want to say to him.
Do we think it's the same thing?
I don't know. There's only one way to find out. Let's both say what we want to say.
Hey, Ronnie. How are you, Ronnie?
Hi there.
Watto and I were actually just talking, and we both actually have something that we want you to say.
Oh, well,
or that we want to say to you.
Oh, okay. Well, is it just that song? Because I've heard it.
I'll let Watto go first, I guess. Or do you want me to go first?
I can still hear you out of this ear.
Patrick should go first. We both have things we want to say to you. We don't know if they're going to be the same thing or not.
Why don't you say them at the same time and see if they're the same thing?
Okay. This is what we want to say to you. We're going to say it at the same time. Watto, do you want to count down?
Yes.
Okay. You ready? Let's do it at the same time. Let's count up to 3, and then we'll count down from 3. Okay.
What?
Up to 3, so then we start counting down to
No,
3 at the same time.
look, I heard what you said. It just doesn't make sense. I've never heard anyone suggest doing a count up, count down. Fine, let's count up to the countdown.
Okay, here we go.
Kick him in the count.
Okay, here we go. 1,
Okay. 1,
2,
2, 3.
3.
Wait, what? Wait a second. You said 2 twice.
Yeah, because you weren't talking. I was trying to get on the same beat as you.
I was not talking. I was counting.
I wish I'd had the two of you. I wish I'd had the two of you as my economic advisors with numbers like that.
Wait, Watto, should there only be 1 3 or should there be 2 3s?
No, 2 3s.
Okay, here we go. You ready? 1,
yes.
2,
well,
3.
I wasn't ready. I thought you were doing. Hold on. I thought you were doing a countdown for the count up. I'm ready to go now. Ready?
Okay. All right. Here's what I think we should do, just to make sure we get there on the same time. We're gonna count down and then count up and then count down, and then we'll say what we have to say.
Okay, so we'll do 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Ready?
Here we go.
Okay.
3.
1. Oh fuck! I forgot it's down first. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's go. 3, 2,
1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Run, Ronnie, run.
Ronnie, go suck an egg.
It was close.
Pretty good.
It was pretty close.
Tell him to go suck an egg.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Wouldn't it have been funnier to say rat, Ronnie, rat?
Yeah, I thought about it, but then I saw someone say it in the comments, and I didn't want to seem like I was stealing it.
Oh boy. Yeah, see, that's why I said go suck an egg. It's clean. It's really, it's razor sharp political comment.
Yeah.
You tell him to go suck an egg.
We just got something sent in, and I feel like this is a good, to end the loop here.
Little Miss Thundershirt.
Yeah. It's from Bring the Noise.
That's great.
Yeah, it's great.
Can I be full screen with you two as little screens?
Of course.
Yeah, sure, George.
All right, and can you guys give me some music that's like the kind of music that a director in Californication would play in the soundtrack to a movie? The kind of director that Dana Gould would never agree to play because he wouldn't want his daughters to see that footage.
Right, like a Watto type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Watto, I'll let you do it.
The music?
The music.
Yeah.
Okay. We've been on the run.
No, just instrumental. Just instrumental.
Da na 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 da 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 da. Da 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 da
Ronnie, bite down on it, Ronnie. Bite down on it. Here's the shell, Ronnie. Ronnie, you got to bite that, Ronnie.
I didn't
If this
tell him.
stream doesn't end with you breaking that shell, what are we even doing here, Ronnie?
Patrick, I did not tell him to bite an egg. I told him to suck an egg.
Yeah, learn to yes and not know what else.
Well, but I thought it was more of a if this is true, what else is true? You know?
Yeah, I know. I just can't do it here.
What is this energy you're bringing? You're coming in so hot. This is after dark.
All right, let's cool down, baby.
You think it's too hot for after dark?
Patrick, so loud, so loud. Patrick.
Equalize this.
I'm sorry. Watto, do you think it's
equalize the screens?
Equalize the screen.
Yeah.
Watto, do you think it's like too hot for after dark? Is that what you're saying?
You're screaming.
Watto, do you think it's too dark for after or too hot for after dark?
The George Lucas Talk Show proudly presents Countdown to Sunrise.
Here we go.
I hate this. This is my least favorite.
Wow.
It's an intense one, guys.
I would say so.
I think this is an intense show we're doing.
Yeah.
We've met so many new friends tonight. So many new characters have been introduced into the lore of this universe. You know, because I think we're in a new era now.
Mm-hmm.
We've left the era of Yippee. We're in the era of Whoopi.
Mm-hmm.
In the era of the...
We're in the era of Whoopi.
We've visited some of the classic friends tonight. You know, we visited Butterboy and Buttergirl, Butterdog.
Mm-hmm.
But we've also met so many new friends.
Mm-hmm.
Baby John Krasinski, baby John Krasinski, baby Gizmo,
yeah,
baby Goo, baby Box.
I think it's just goo.
I think that Goo looked like a little baby to me.
Oh, I mean, George.
What?
That feels like you're opening up another box of changing this character's name. I think it's too late to be changing this character's name.
Why?
Opening up a little box of goo?
We're opening up a little box of goo.
This is just goo, but now I think I have to make a little baby goo.
All right. I think
you just said it, and I need to see it.
Wait. Here's what you could do before we end.
Okay.
You got two little babies, right?
Yeah.
The next thing you say is very important, Patrick.
Yeah.
I like whatever. I like whatever is about to be said.
What are those two little babies where to catch all their little pee pee and poo poo?
What the fuck? What are you saying?
Fuck off this screen.
Fuck, Patrick.
Patrick ban. Patrick ban. Ban.
What did he just?
No, that's where it's going. Yeah. What is?
I said, what do those little babies wear to catch all their little pee pee and poo poo?
Banned.
You're talking about diapers.
Go put a little diaper on that goo.
I don't think I have.
Patrick,
use them all up.
You don't have any more. Wait, is this breaking news?
This is
small.
Out of diapers.
You know,
do you see this?
Yeah,
how
put a big one on.
7.5 month baby is.
Put a big one on him.
Yeah, you saw the way Watto's.
There's no way the diaper is that big, Dave.
Yeah,
you put a diaper on right now.
You saw the red hat on little baby Gizmo, right?
Yeah.
Go get a diaper, okay? It'll make you guys happy.
Bye.
Otherwise, let's get a Deadline article about Jersey Davis out of diapers.
It's a big deal.
Patrick, I want to say something to you. All right, we came down on you pretty hard because I think there were a lot of different ways you could have said what you said.
Yes, you arguably chose the worst one.
It was very unclear what you were suggesting.
Can I tell you the thought process?
Yeah.
It was, I started talking, and then I said, I don't know how I'm going to finish this sentence.
Great.
So it was one of those things where I just kept talking.
Right. But then you said the way you were getting to put a diaper on goo is you said a sentence that was unclear whether or not you were asking about if he could collect his children's poo-poo and pee-pee, as if that was your next move. Man. You were basically like Jersey Dave. about you gather up all your little poo poo and pee pee of your little babies? It honestly, to me, sounded like you were asking Jersey Dave to go collect samples of his baby's waste.
Make him a little baby.
All right. You want to see what a size 3 diaper on Goo looks like?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, man.
That's the job done.
I mean, I'll say this. That's very funny. Wait, Dave, here's the idea.
Can you make him peek out? Can you make his little eyes peek out?
Or even just his little legs peep out the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, I can make this look a little bit more cute.
What does the Jersey Dave shirt say?
That I can show you how ridiculous your idea is?
No, that shirt would have sold like wildfire.
Hey, Bryson, can you come back in here? We need to see what that shirt says.
Yeah, I gotta grab the shirt. Hold on.
Oh, you took it. Never mind.
Are you working in the bumper pack factory shirtless, Bryson?
Yeah. What?
I think we might have just caught Bryson in a moment.
At least Pee Wee Herman was in an X-rated movie theater.
Oh.
No shirt, no shoes, no bumper.
While Jersey Dave's doing that, can I see the Rebel bumper one more time?
Yeah, sure. Hang on one sec.
Genuinely, I get real like Better Call Saul open title vibes.
I was going to say there's something about the rack focus from
Bryson
the rubble to the rubble.
Yeah,
Bryson Lee that shirt is on.
Let's see one more time and look. I worked hard. I shot 10 seconds of footage and edited it down to that because I was getting. And I wanted him. I wanted to wiggle him a little bit. What are you saying, Patrick?
The rack focus is genuinely great.
I knew I wanted him to be a surprise, and I knew I wanted him to wiggle a little, so it wasn't to show that he was kind of excited.
Yeah,
this is why you're a great filmmaker.
I love the choice of music, Bryson. I love the font. All really great work.
George, I'm glad you picked up on the same thing that I did. That piece of music, when I came across it, I was like, are we ever going to do some sort of Breaking Bad universe riff, which has been pitched in the past? And I was worried about burning it for this, but I thought it was too good.
It was really great. And I feel like...
From Goldie Thrawn, the original Photoshopper of Grow Gizmo.
Right. It's official now. Now it's canon.
Yeah. Oh my goodness! Look at that.
Cool.
I genuinely want a hat that says that.
That says "Pretend it's an Arlet."
Let me say this. Speaking of things being on hats, is something that might, in a world, be a possibility.
Well, Bryson, I think we just decided what the first one is.
Perfect. Let me make sure that blue is an option.
What are we doing?
Not easy as shirts. Gotta make that clear.
What?
Can't be a...
It can't be a what?
I mean, are we officially said? We haven't said the word yet, but the thing we're talking about is not easy to make and can't be done very quickly.
A hat?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like a hat.
Yeah,
a hat embroidered. It takes time. Just it's not going to be, you know.
Well, you have to hire a haberdasher.
That's right.
You have to design the hat. It's not something as simple as just putting words or images onto the front of a hat template. They have to design each hat from scratch.
Dave, are you trying to imply that there is a risk of demand for Pretend It's an Artless hat dying down?
No. To be clear, everyone's going to want that. It's a beautiful thing. I mean, it works. It just works.
Can I just say I'm glad that we're most certainly not producing the other option of hat.
Yeah.
Pretend It's an Artless's hat.
Oh, yeah, no, it has to be on a blue hat.
Yeah.
Blue hat. Blue hat. We don't want anyone getting punched in the face because they wore...
Someone else didn't read the full text of the red hat.
Yeah.
Pretend It's an Artless.
Yeah.
What if we got...
Setting expectations about how we make hats.
Yeah.
That's all.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Bryson.
Thanks, Dave.
Bye.
Other shows don't have time for this.
No, George, I think you're mistaken.
What do you mean?
I think if you change one word in that sentence, it makes a lot more sense. Other shows don't make time for this.
Patrick, that's the first smart thing you said all night.
And may the force be with you. Always.